What's good, Liberators? Fingaz here, and welcome to another thrilling installment of Dx2 Demon Review. And today we are talking about this big beautiful Orcus here. You're gonna be so proud of your Orcus. The Hellmouth itself, the Hellmouth beneath Sunnydale, the Reaper, Orcus, and one of my personal favorite demons. In this game specifically, I love how he functions, even though I don't get to use him nearly as often as I want to. I love quirky demons like him, where the devs really kind of mess with things, and like they turn the weaknesses into strengths, and it kind of just opens up a whole new world of tactics for you to play with. And his design is just look at it. That is just awesome. And if you notice, he's got this little placard right there. See it right there? That says "Go to Hell" on it, which just cements him as the best Mega 10 demon design, bar none. Fuck you, fight me. He wins, hands down. So, let's go to the lore and learn a little bit more about him. Orcus, the god whose name is said to refer to the very underworld itself in Roman mythology. His huge and intimidating stature is often depicted in ancient Roman murals. However, he later was often associated with other Greek gods as time went on. Wow, what a useless description. Sega, Bobola, $500. Pay me $500 and I will repair this tattered localization, because whoever you have doing this now is clearly not a native English speaker, and this is just terrible. I mean, I can look past the spelling errors, but when you give me a description with as much nothing as you do right here, I'm forced to do something about it. So let's check out the Mega 10 wiki real quick and see what they have to say, because their description is far, far better. Orcus is a sometimes malevolent god of death and one of the gods of the Roman underworld in Roman mythology. He is also known as the Punisher of Broken Oaths, and so is the Roman equivalent to the god Orcus. He was more equivalent to the Roman Pluto than to the Greek Hades. He's daring but violent and will massacre enemy troops in order to eat them. He also sometimes appears as a giant dragon with fangs of iron. That is a proper demonic description. And to borrow a quote from SMT's Strange Journey, I will grab your departing spirit and crush it, along with your illusions of eternal life. Boom! That is a fucking demon. 10 out of 10. Oh, let's check out his spirit panels. As you can see, I went straight for panel 2, as is often my wont, because there's usually some pretty good money there. Activates the following chain effect if a party member's weak point is attacked. Increases the attack of all party members by 20%, which, piles on to his kind of theme of turning weaknesses into strengths. So thematically, I love it. I love it. And as you can see, you get physical defense and magical defense to a total of 120 with that second panel. And his first panel, minus 50% to dark damage received. Boring, pointless, it's whatever. I don't see it doing a whole hell of a lot of good for anyone, but hey, it's a thing that is there, and it is a prerequisite to get the big money in panel 3. Activates the following chain effect at the beginning of a battle if the enemy attacks first, and if you're running Orcus, they are going to be attacking first. Reduces all enemy attack by 20%. So that is fantastic. He's a wall. He stumps the enemy attack, and if you slap Auto Rakukaja on him, you got a nice bulwark of defense that plays into his specific skill set, which we will get to in a moment. As for branding, life brands. Give him life brands. Just give him life brands. He's there to be a wall, and just stand there. As you can see, I've got lead brands on him as well, and that's because when I ran him in PvP, I needed him in a very specific order. You know, I needed him to be there for the full press turn so he could pass it along. So that is why I have lead brands on him, but you can go with, you know, shield brands, get that magic defense up, guard brands, get that physical defense up, ward brands for whatever they're worth these days, which in my estimation is not a whole hell of a lot, but hey, you go hog wild. But me personally, I would recommend the life brands for that triple set, and I can't really make an argument for anything else for them. If you got some idea, lay it on me in the comments, call me an idiot. You have at it. As for skills, number 1, he's got the War Cry, reduces attack and defense of all enemies by 20%. And that basically, this is all he does. He basically stands there, he can buff you, he can debuff the enemy, and he can revive people, assuming you just slap a Samakam on him or a Rakamdra. Hey, you go with whatever you think is best for your situation. But yeah, that's fantastic. Fantastic. But here's the real money, and here's why we're here. Number 1, Law of Hell. As long as the demon with this skill is alive, no bonus turn will be granted when a party member's weak point is attacked, which is huge. The biggest advantage to striking weak points is not the increased damage, it's the added press turn, which just allows you to literally double the amount of turns you can take if you're consistently exploiting them. And it can just, you've seen what you can do with a full 8 turns. You know, you can wreak some serious havoc. And I know what you're saying right now. Fingaz, this is supposed to be your favorite demon. Why is this Law of Hell only level 1 and 11 out of 6? Why haven't you leveled? Well, honestly, I never really saw much benefit. I mean, at its peak, as you can see, it increases HP and ailment resistance at level 6 a full 10%, which is, I mean, okay, yeah, sure. I mean, 10% HP, more HP is always good on everything, no matter who it is. So, okay, but, I mean, my Orcus is sitting on 4,000 HP at the moment, and adding 100 or 2 more to that really isn't gonna shift the tide of any battles, in my estimation. And a 10% to ailment resistance is, it's just nothing. It's just, you've got people spiking their ailment infliction rates above 100%. 10% to his resistance isn't gonna save you. You know, everyone's pretty much, if you're running a defense against ailments, you've got someone there who's immune to ailments, who's wiping those clean for you, and that's pretty much the only defense you can possibly have against them. And that's just how I see it. You may disagree, but that's my thinking behind it anyway. And for his second unique skill, Hell's Gate. And this is my favorite one, by the way. While the demon with this skill is alive, all party members will receive the following effect for every weak attribute. All party members will receive 5% less damage from skills that target all or random allies, with a maximum reduction of 50%. So if you have 10 weaknesses spread throughout your team, including the 2 weaknesses that are inherent to Orcus himself, you get a 50% damage reduction to all sweeping skills. You are still vulnerable to those single target skills, and Orcus is very vulnerable to mortal attacks. So your Alices, your Masacados, you know, your undead Alices, they're gonna drop them like it's hot pretty easily. But hey, that's part of the game, you know. There is no perfect demon to counter every other demon. Every demon has its strengths and its weaknesses, and this just happens to be a big one of Orcus's. He's really, really slow, and he's vulnerable to that mortal skill. So no matter how much HP you stack on him, he's gonna get knocked down. And that glorious sweep damage reduction goes with him. So be warned. But still, I love this skill. I love playing with the weaknesses. I love altering the mechanics of the game in order to open up these new tactics. This is why he's one of my favorites. I love it. I want to use him more. I wish I could use him more, but slow demons just kill me in this most recent incarnation of the game. So, moving on. As you can see, I have him in the Protector archetype, which comes with Nocturne. And no, I'm not talking about SMT3. I'm talking about this nice little skill which increases your party's defense and evasion and accuracy by 20%. So if you've got the Protector archetype, you can have Warcry, debuffing the enemy, and then on his next turn, boom, he can pop Nocturne and boost you up. And if you're running Orcus, generally speaking, you're in for a protracted battle. At least that's my thinking behind Orcus. He's there for if you're going to be there for several rounds of combat. You need to take some hits, and you need that one buff probably isn't going to take you the whole way. You need to kind of be re-upping what you're doing to take them down, like for some Kiwamis, for instance. Yeah, this is why I prefer the Protector archetype. We'll look at his others in a moment, but for me personally, Protector archetype, that's where you want to be. That's where the big money, the big gains are. And as for my personal transfer skills, Auto Rakakaja, start of a fight, cast Rakakaja, 20% defense boost. He's a wall. He's a wall, and you know, he's going to make the Tenmas are going to pay for it. And that's why he's got extra 20% boost in defense. Can't go wrong there. And, of course, Samakarm, which, you know, can't go wrong with a, you know, you got a demon like this with a hell of a lot of HP. Doesn't hurt to have a revive on there, but Rakamdra, hey, that could play as well. Me personally, this is, my head is just stuck on kind of those two things, because he's got his buffs and debuffs. He can't hit worth a damn either with magic or with physical attacks. So buffs, debuffs, healing transfers are highly underwhelming, so go with revives. That's where my head's at with it. And as for his stats, as you can see, vitality is the big money, agility is the big loser, so don't even bother with the agility. So I dumped all my Mitamas into vitality, obviously. Luck, hell, why not? But you can go for strength or magic, not so much for the attack value, but for the defensive value, as strength helps with physical defense and magic helps with your magic defense. And as you can see, he's got these nice two fire and electric weaknesses, which give you a guaranteed 10% defense reduction, no matter who you're running him with, onto sweeping skills with his Hell's Gate skill to complement that. So let's check out his other archetypes before we wrap this up. Where are you, Arc Selector? There you are. Okay, Wallman, there he is. Okay, Aragami is Mamundun, which is the Tier 2 Dark Sweep skill. Wow, I can't even think of a situation where that would be useful. Again, he doesn't have a pierce effect, and any sweep skill without a pierce effect in this, it's 2021. If you're firing off a sweep skill without a pierce effect, I don't know what to tell you. But yeah, that's just... Protector archetype, Nocturne, we have discussed that. The Psychic archetype gives you Tetraka Shift, which activates Falling Chain effect at the beginning of a battle. Casts Tetrakarn, which I believe is the... Oh God, is that the magic reflection or the physical reflection? I can't remember. I believe it's the physical reflection. Either way, completely and utterly useless. Why? Well, because everything's going to be coming at you with the pierce effect. Especially any battle you're going to be running with Orcus, be it PvP or Kiwamis, they're all piercing your ass. So this is complete and utter garbage. It's not going to help you in any way, shape, or form. I can't say enough bad things about the Psychic archetype of Orcus, which is odd because Psychic archetypes are usually big money for all demons involved. And finally, the Elementalist archetype, Null Physical. When I first gotcha'd Orcus, he had Null Fizz on him, and I liked that at first. Because early on with Orcus, every demon and their mother didn't come with a physical pierce effect. But now, today, anything that's going to be swinging on you is going to pierce right through that, making it utterly useless. I love the thematic build though, right? He's a wall, right? He's a wall, so he knows physical attacks, right? Makes sense. But in practical reality, it does not play. So I would highly, highly recommend you go Protector archetype all the way, all the way. I've found the most use for it. And again, I can't say enough good things about it. So, there we have it. Orcus, my personal favorite demon, hands down. If you couldn't tell by the logo I use for my channel, I love this guy. Just look at that beautiful, beautiful face. That is a face that we all can love. So, till next time, Liberators, keep your heads up. Remember to have fun. Adios.